Today I'm breaking down our February 2022 budget report and net worth update, which includes a tax refund. So let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be diving in to show you our February 2022 actual household budget, how we spent every dollar in our budget. But before we get into it, I want to let you know the budget template that I'm using is one that you can get yourself on my shop. I will have that linked below. It's an instant download, works in Excel and Google Sheets. And if you are new to budgeting and you want to get started with it, I actually have a course called the Budget Breakdown course, which walks you through everything you need to know about budgeting, how to set up your budget, continue budgeting. This is a video course and it's go at your own pace. It's also very affordable, only $37, and you get lifetime access. And the budget template that I'm using is actually included in that course. So if you want to check it out, I will have a link to that course down in the description box as well. And I would highly recommend checking that out if you're wanting to get started with budgeting and seeing how you can use your budget to enjoy life while still accomplishing financial goals. So without further ado, let's just dive into this budget because there's a lot of fun things to talk about. Also, I have my Starbucks here, so this is like a hangout, chit chat, go over the budget video. So get out your budget, get out your coffee, let's do this. Okay, first thing we have is income. So we have my husband, Jacob's income. He is a W-2 employee, works for an employer doing marketing. He is fully remote though and works from home, which is so nice. And then my income here is everything that I make from my business. So I pay myself a salary out of my business. I have our individual incomes blocked out for privacy, but I do show you other income, and we had some other income this month due to having a tax refund. And then we also got money back from escrow when we did a refinance on our house last year, and they withheld more money than they needed. So they sent us a check for the difference. So that was some of it. And then also was our tax refund. So we actually owed money this year on our taxes, as I've shared many times on this channel, but I've been setting aside money every month for taxes because I knew that we were going to owe. So basically I took what I had set aside, then I deducted what we owed for taxes, and then I just transferred that money over like from my tax holding account, like just a different savings account that I had in, and then just brought it into our normal checking account to then budget off of. So I basically gave myself a tax refund because I just paid myself the overage of what I had saved for taxes. So we owed a lot of money for taxes, but it felt fine because I had saved a whole bunch of money knowing that we were going to owe. So we got our taxes taken care of for this year, and we are going to be saving additionally for taxes for the coming year. I'm also paying quarterly tax payments for my business because I paid taxes as a small business owner. You bet I do. So that is something that we'll be doing going forward. But this year we ended up having an extra $5,360.79 between what I had saved and what we owed to taxes. And then this number also included that little bit of an escrow check that we got back. So altogether, our total household income was $15,303.45. I don't know about you, but I love a good extra income month when you have like a surplus of income and you're like, oh, what are we gonna do with it? So let's allocate these dollars, shall we? So we use a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our money out, which includes expenses, debt, and savings. And the only debt that we have is our mortgage, and you'll see that here in our budget. So the first thing we have is our expenses. We have our tithe. We are Christians and we believe in tithing and giving to our church and other organizations. So our tithe here is to our church. And then Africa New Life, we support a couple kids in Rwanda through Africa New Life, and then we support an additional missions organization. So I just have all three of those blocked out for privacy. But here's our mortgage. We own our home in Portland, Oregon area, and we bought in September 2019. Glad that we were able to buy when we did. But our mortgage payment is made up of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and that is $2,220.50. So that was our normal payment here. Next we have is our HOA. We pay $121.46 each month for our HOA, and that is fine. Oh, and this number did not get updated correctly. I was a penny off. Just had a little typo there because it's for sure $121.46. Next we have is water sewer. I budgeted $93.85. It ended up being $98.10, so a little bit higher than I had budgeted for, but it's always right around that like $95 mark, so not bad. Next we have is natural gas. So we heat our home with natural gas and like cooking and everything with natural gas. So I budgeted 60, it was 64.60. So hopefully that'll continue to go down as we're getting into more spring weathered months. We are still in winter. The next line item that we have here is trash. We pay our trash every other month. This month was a trash month, so that was 58.72 I budgeted for, but it was actually 55.90. And I'm not sure exactly why it was a few dollars less, but I'll take it. Next we have is electric. We budgeted $70 and we actually spent $75.99. So this is everything that we have plugged in and any lights on in the home. Next we have is the internet, budgeted at $44.99 each month, which is a standard. And then we have our phones. This is my phone and Jacob's cell phone, and that's $115. Next we have is insurance, and this is car insurance for both of our cars. And I budgeted $141.19, and it's for some reason it was $122.17. So I need to check into this because it feels like it like used to be a certain amount and now it's gone down, which I won't argue against that. But I wonder exactly why it has gone down $20 a month, which I feel like is not bad at all. Then we have life insurance. So this is a term life insurance policy that we have on myself and my husband Jacob, and that is $52.89 each month for our insurance. Next we have is groceries. Okay, we budgeted $500 and we spent $593.47. So it was definitely a bit higher here in groceries, but we have been trying to eat better, and we've also given into a few conveniences. We signed up for HelloFresh. I've shared this before, but we've really enjoyed doing the meals with HelloFresh. We get like 3 meals a week, and we're trying to figure out how we can do like HelloFresh because it obviously is a little bit more expensive. I did a whole video breaking down the cost of it. If you want to check it out, I'll leave it here. But we want to do like HelloFresh for 3 meals and then maybe do like cheaper, simpler meals at home for the other meals. But before we did HelloFresh, our meals were very simple and bland and honestly not super healthy. So if we were making those same quality, healthy meals with HelloFresh, the price would be very similar as to what I've seen on grocery like stores. And I've also actually now made a couple of the meals again with just like buying the ingredients at the grocery store, and it is similar to the cost of HelloFresh. So we've really enjoyed the service, but so we're just like allowing ourselves to be able to enjoy better food, healthier food, all of those things that are probably important for us. And that obviously has a little bit more of a cost associated with it, because before the meal options that we would do were like so minimal and bland. So we're just trying to be healthier, and that obviously comes with a cost. If you want to check out HelloFresh, we've loved it. We've done it every week for the last few months, and I have a referral code where you can get $120 off if you want to check it out. You can always skip or cancel at any time as well, but we've really enjoyed it. So I'll leave a link to that down below. Next we have is eating out, and we budgeted $150 for eating out, and we spent $234.14, which feels outrageous because we only went to one sit down restaurant once, and then the other times it was like takeout kind of food that we got. So I'm like shocked that we spent that much, and I like even went back to look at all my transactions to be like, did I double like enter something? And no, I didn't. It just literally was that expensive, which is crazy. So if groceries and eating out were definitely to our demise this month. It was pretty bad. Okay, next we have is gas. We budgeted $125. We actually spent $142.58. Honestly, I'm proud of us for spending that little, because this is one of those things right now that it just like the cost is what it is. You need to fill up your car, and gas is so much more expensive than it has been. So I think that going forward, we need to be closer to like $150 each month to budget for gas. And my husband and I even work from home, so we're not going a whole lot of places. We're just like running around town doing errands if we need to. But it's crazy to me that we're even spending that much. And I remember like pre-pandemic when we both worked like outside the home and everything, we were spending $200 to $250 a month, and that's when gas prices were lower too. But so I know that we're like spending less overall, but just I know that it's crazy when you go to fill up your car and it's so much per fill up. Anyway, next we have is fun. We budgeted $50. We actually spent $25. I took Peter to like a toddler gymnastics class thing, and it was $25. I'm not sure that I will sign up for it like for every week. I think he's a little bit young for it to enjoy it and do all the activities and stuff right now. But it was fun to do it like one day. So it was $25. And yeah, like the cost for it to do it like every month or like every week for the month was like $100. I'm like, I don't know if it'd be worth that much at this point, but yeah, we do have that. Next we have is Miscellaneous. We were under on Miscellaneous. Hello. Okay, we budgeted $100 for Miscellaneous. We actually spent $74.38. So that was a win, even though our groceries and eating out was over. This was under, which is good. Next we have is Peter. So we put $50 a month into a brokerage account for our son Peter. And our desire with this is that we can use this money to gift to him someday for like a new car, for like his first car or like his first house or a wedding or something like that. So it's in our names and it's still our money, but the point of it is that we plan to do those kinds of things with that money eventually. I'm also pregnant with baby number 2, expecting baby boy in June. So we are planning to increase these amounts as we add an additional child to our household. Next we have is college, and we put $200 a month into Peter's 529 college savings plan. We're saving for Peter to go to college now, and yeah, hopefully that'll help him when he's ready to go to school then. Okay, next we have is the Roth IRA. So I shared in my March budget with me video that our plan was whenever we found out how much we were getting back on our taxes, that I would put it towards the Roth IRA. And I thought we'd figure all that out in March. It ended up that we found that out in February. And it was nice with me, I guess, like saving that money myself, because then I didn't have to wait for like the government to issue me a refund. Instead, I just transferred money over to like our, regular checking. So we decided to fund the Roth IRA. A Roth IRA limit for 2022 is $6,000 for the year. So we plan to max out 2 Roth IRAs this year. So we decided to just max one out this month. And obviously you can see that that was a little bit more than what we actually got back for all of our tax refund stuff. So $6,000 is what we put to the Roth IRA. We just decided to max it out, be done with it. And we only brought in $53.60. So as you can see, like we put more money to that, but we just wanted to, we're not trying to time the market or do anything. I know the market has been down the last couple months, but our plan is for the long game. And so we're just like, let's just do it. And I'm not a financial advisor, not investment advice at all. But we just decided to do that for us to max out one of them right now. So we have that taken care of. And you'll see where that was adjusted then later on in our budget, because we do have a zero-based budget. Okay, so our total for all of our money out, the money that went out of our bank account, is $11,909.17. So now to show you our sinking funds, our savings section of the budget. So the first thing that we have here is our emergency fund. And this was something that I actually thought we were going to finish in the month of February. We want to get this amount up to $15,000. So I was planning on it being finished with, like, as you can see here, like we were going to have it like finished this month if we would have done what I budgeted for. But because we moved over all the money to just like fully fund the Roth IRA, we ended up putting less to the emergency fund right now. So we put $685. So the balance of our emergency fund is now at $13,808. So we want to get this up to $15,000. So hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. But as you'll see with the rest of our sinking funds down here, we still have additional cash reserves here for additional purposes that are like earmarked for something else with our sinking funds, but it is still cash that we have on hand. But we do want to get our specific emergency fund up to 15. So next we have is Jacob. Jacob gets $250 of personal spending money each month, and I get $100. The only reason why he gets more is simply because he likes to spend more money, and I would rather more money go to our financial goals. So we have no problem with just like him getting a little bit more. So he actually spent $528. And so he's actually a little bit negative in this. And I don't know about you guys and like your marriage and everything, but I'm definitely more of the nerd. Obviously, I keep the spreadsheet. And Jacob is totally aware of everything that we're doing with our finances, but doesn't like care to be in the nitty gritty that much. So he's just always like asking me, he's like, how much do I have in my fund? And he made like a purchase right at the end of the month because he's like, well, it's going to roll over in a couple days. I'm going to get more money in my fund. So I don't love for something to be negative, but it was like for 2 days or something. Also, I will say that the each sinking fund that we have here isn't a specific, like, isn't its own individual bank account. I know some people use sinking funds and make like a bank account for each sinking fund. But that's not the way that we operate. I just have the grand total of all of our sinking funds in one bank account, and then I use the spreadsheet to know how much is in each fund. And you can do it however you want, however works best for you. So next we have is my spending. I actually got $75 because for Christmas, my family got me a ticket to go to the Hillsong concert. They were supposed to come to Portland, and it ended up that they canceled their Portland stop. So my mom instead Venmo'd me the money for the concert ticket. So I actually got more money in my personal fund. So I'm now at $360.97. As you can tell, who's the saver and who's the spender. Next we have is extra giving. We put $50 a month into an extra giving fund to say yes to additional giving opportunities if they come up. So we now have $57.81 in that fund. Then we have gifts, and we put $50 a month into that. We spent $19.99 on a gift for someone, and we now have $160.63. Next we have is clothing. We put $50 a month into a clothing fund for myself and Jacob. There's very little clothing items that we actually need. We spent $69 in that. Jacob needed like a new pair of jeans, which is very rare. And so we spent so we now have negative $14.34. Again, I don't like these funds to be negative, but these were just very minorly negative. Next we have is vacation. We're putting $150 aside for vacation, and we are doing that each month. And this month we actually spent $442. We are planning to go to Southern California in May, and we are going to go to Disneyland. So we bought our tickets for that. So we now have $929 in our vacation fund. Next we have is Christmas. We're putting $100 aside each month for Christmas. So that now has $200 in it in February. Next we have is medical. So this is a big reason of why we haven't been able to finish the emergency fund right now, is because, as you can see, we're putting a lot to medical. So we are on the high deductible health plan with our insurance, and I'm having a baby this year. So we're just planning to reach the family max out of pocket, just kind of expecting to do that. We may be under by a little bit, or we may hit it. It might be close. But either way, we just decided that we are using our HSA, our health savings account, to max that out for the year, which is $7,300, I think, for 2022. So we're maxing that out through my husband's paycheck. And our desire with that is that we will keep that money in the HSA, and we will then invest those dollars. The great thing about an HSA is that it has the potential for a triple tax advantage, where you put that money in before tax. You can then invest the dollars in your HSA, and it could have the potential to grow tax-free, and then you can take that money out tax-free to be used on medical expenses, like qualified medical expenses. So we want to use it to its full triple tax advantage this year, which is why we are just setting that money aside and we're not touching it. And instead we're going to pay for all of our medical expenses out of pocket. So that being said, we are saving $930 each month between now and into the summer, so that by the time the baby boy is here and we'll receive our hospital bills, we'll have all the money there sitting there to cover all of that. So we're saving $6,000 is because that is our family max out of pocket between now and into the summer. So we're saving $930 this month. We actually spent $682.47 because this is the year that we're planning to hit the max out of pocket, so might as well do all the medical things. So Jacob just had a couple things that he's been putting off for a while, so he got those taken care of because we're planning to hit the family max out of pocket anyway, so that's what we had to pay for. So we now have $802 remaining. Next we have is cord blood registry. We did cord blood banking with our son Peter when he was born. Really loved it with cord blood registry, and so we saved $31 each month for that. Next we have is dues and subs, and we are saving $37.50 each month for dues and subs. And I had one come up this month. I don't even remember what it was, but it was some sort of annual subscription thing. So that was $29.58 that came out of there. So we're now at $45.42. Next we have is car maintenance. We set aside $75 each month for car maintenance purposes, and we spent $10, so we now have $51.69. And next we have is house maintenance. We put $400 a month into house maintenance to cover any sort of house repair that we may need to make, something to remember that you have to save for if you're a homeowner, because it definitely does cost money to be a homeowner. So we actually spent $361.57 this month on house maintenance costs, and so we now have $677.93 there. Next we have is household. This is $100 each month, and it covers things like paper towels, toilet paper, detergent, like any kind of consumable thing for household, a lot of Costco things. And now we spent this month $180 on those kinds of expenses, so we're actually negative $15.26. Next we have is our baby fund. So this is expenses for our son Peter, and he is almost 2, and so he's not really a baby anymore. But we put $100 into that, and we spent $119.35 this month, so we're actually negative $38.79 in this fund. So we'll spend on things like clothing, diapers, any sort of baby accessory, like things like that, or toddler accessory, like anything that we need for him goes to that fund. Next we have is baby number 2, and this is another sinking fund that we're working on. I did a video talking about how much we're planning to spend on baby, so I'll leave a link to that video up above and you can check it out there. But I'm doing a sinking fund for this, so I basically took a look at how much I plan to spend on everything for baby. Since we are having a second boy, there's not a whole lot of things that we need, but I do have a list of like the things that I need, and I priced it out, and I came to a grand total, and then I took that total and then divided it by how many months I have until baby is due, and saving that amount each month, which happens to be $285 each month to cover the things that we plan to buy for him. So this month we set aside $285, and I actually spent a lot of money this month. I spent $586.37. So we are negative $378.52. Now I will tell you, I'm not worried about this negative because I purchased all these things that were on my list that I'd priced out that I was planning to purchase anyway. And those things include a car seat. We bought the Nunarava car seat for him. I wasn't planning to buy this for a while, but it ended up going on sale. It's typically $500 and it went on sale for $400. So I was like, I'll just buy it while it's on sale. So I wasn't planning to buy it that soon. That's why this got so messed up. If I didn't have that, then we would have been fine, but I spent $400 on that. And then we also bought like the additional toddler seat or the additional rumble seat for our Up a Baby Vista stroller, and like the hatch scale thing that we planned to get anyway. So things were on sale, and so I decided to just buy it when it was on sale. And therefore I don't think that I have very much to purchase for the rest of this pregnancy. So we'll see, but I have my list and I have been sticking to it so far of the things that I plan to buy for him and the things that we've bought. So this is negative, but I shouldn't hopefully be spending more money on additional baby things for quite some time, probably up until like May, when we would use like our completion coupon on our like baby registry to get the remaining like few things that we need. The other things that I basically need for him are all of like the new sanitary things of like getting new bottles and new pacifiers and breast pump parts and those kinds of things that you probably need for a second kid. But everything else I have all the stuff because we already had a boy. So that's taken care of. So here you can see our total that went to sinking funds, or like went to savings, was $3,394.29. So this is calculating the money out, all of the money that went out of the budget this month. So taking expenses plus savings is $15,303.46. This should equal our income, which I have this formula down below here that shows the difference, taking the difference between the income and all the money out. And we're a penny off because we made that 1 penny adjustment. So I can't be bothered by this penny. I need to go fix this. Here to our emergency fund, because that's kind of where every extra penny is going right now. So updated that, and that is our entire budget, how we spent our money for February. But let me also show you our net worth update, because that's always an exciting one, and this is something that we like to track now that we are, debt free, and we're just watching our net worth grow. So your net worth is made up of your assets, the things you own, minus your liabilities, or the things that you owe. So all of our assets, first off, we have retirement. Like I said, it hasn't been a couple great months for investments, but this month we put over $6,500 total into retirement, including fully funding the Roth Ira and then a 401k deduction out of my husband's paycheck. And so our overall balance did go up. It's now to $114,946. So that increased by $6,000, but because of what we put in minus how much it went up, it actually lost $443. Now we didn't actually lose it yet because we didn't pull money out of the market. That's just an unrealized loss because we haven't moved any money. But we are still, increasing our retirement contributions, but we are still planning to put money into retirement normally with my husband's paycheck out of his 401k, and still planning to do the other Roth IRA here soon, or maybe little by little for the rest of the year. Next we have is our house value. I tracked this through Zillow, and I know this isn't 100% accurate, but it gives me some sort of basis. So Zillow says that our house is now at $577, so it went up $13,000 this month, which is crazy. And then we have our emergency fund, which we keep in high yield savings, at $13,808, which went up. And then our extra cash that we have on hand with all of our sinking funds, which is now at $3,075. Then we have our HSA money. Like I said, we're putting money into the HSA every month with my husband's paycheck that gets deducted out of his paycheck with his employer. So that's now at $1,220. And then we have money with Robinhood. We have a few single stocks in Robinhood. This obviously is not our main investing strategy, but it has been interesting to use the Robinhood app and learn more about investing in that way. I actually have a referral link to Robinhood, and I'll leave that down below if you want to get a free single stock with my link, and you can check that out there. Next we have is our car value. We have a 2018 Highlander, which went down in value to $36,255. It's crazy how much car values had gone up in the last year and a half, and to now see it, I think for the last couple of months, it's been going down in value, which is typically what happens. It's been interesting to see that. Then we have our 2013 RAV4, and that went down a little bit as well. So that's now at $17,947. That's based off of Kelley Blue Book. So total assets or things that we own, $765,977. And then the only thing that we owe on, the only debt we have is our mortgage. And that is now down to $383,510. That decreased by $656 just based off of the minimum payment that we pay on our mortgage each month. So our overall net worth is $382,466, and that went up by $19,000 this month, which is great. Obviously, a lot of that due to just our house value going up. So I just have this other little cell here to calculate our house equity. We have $193,000 in house equity, which is 33% of the house value, which is great. And we only put 5% down on this house in September 2019, so that's just crazy to see that. And again, really grateful that we bought when we did. And then I have some footnote assets here because these are things that we do own, but technically not ours to keep. So I have them down at footnote. And I actually did block this out for the first time, and I think I might going forward, and we'll see how that goes. But this just makes up taxes. Like I said, we save money each month to go towards taxes, and the reason why I don't want that to be in our net worth is because I'm saving money every month, but then come tax time, then it all goes away. So that's why this is down here, but this is obviously cash that we do have on hand for taxes. And then we have that brokerage account that's in our names, what we plan to give to Peter someday. And then Peter's 529. So that money is not ours. So the total of all of these footnote assets is $14,740. And those are just additional assets that we have, but I won't include in our total net worth. But we are getting close to 400,000 here, hopefully soon within the next few months. So we'll see how that goes. But that is our overall update. That was a really long video. Thank you so much for hanging out for this video. Don't forget, if you want to get this budget template, I will have a link to it in the description box below. And also check out my budget breakdown course where you can learn everything you need to know about budgeting. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. That's a huge help to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.